And Jesus stood among the people, and his eyes rested not only on the crowd before him, but on the hearts within them. He lifted his voice, and it carried both authority and compassion. "My children," he said, "you have grown weary from the weight of the world. You labor under burdens you were never meant to carry alone. Come closer, not with fear, but with faith, for I know your struggles before you speak them." He looked upon those who felt forgotten and continued, "Do not measure your worth by what you have lost, nor by what others have taken from you. Your value was established before the foundations of the earth. I called you mine when you were weak, and I remain with you now that you are tired." Jesus stretched out his hands and taught them, saying, "The kingdom of God is not built by power as the world defines it, but by humility, obedience, and love. Blessed are those who trust me when the path is unclear, for their steps are guided even when they cannot see." He warned them gently, "Do not let your hearts grow hard from disappointment. Many hear my words, but allow fear to silence them. Yet I tell you, faith spoken in quiet obedience moves heaven more than loud doubt." Then his voice softened. "When you fall, do not hide from me. Return. I do not turn away the broken. I restore them. I did not come for the righteous alone, but for those who know they need healing." And Jesus concluded, "Remain in my love. Walk in truth. Serve one another. For as the Father sent me, so I send you, to be light in darkness, hope in despair, and living testimony of grace." And the people listened, for they knew these words carried life. And Jesus spoke again, not with thunder, but with a voice gentle enough to reach the wounded heart. "My child," he said, "do not believe the lie that I am ignoring you. I have heard every prayer you whispered through tears, every cry you released in silence, and every question you were afraid to ask. Heaven has not been distant, and I have not turned my face away from you." He continued, "There were moments you knocked and felt no answer, moments you waited and felt unseen. Yet understand this: silence is not absence. I was working beyond what your eyes could perceive, preparing what your faith would soon receive." Jesus drew nearer and said, "I am not far from you. I am at your door. I stand closer than your breath, nearer than your fear. I wait not because I am unwilling, but because timing is sacred. What I bring must arrive whole, not rushed, and aligned with the Father's will." He looked upon the weary and spoke again, "Do not measure my love by delays. Some doors must be strengthened before they open, or the blessing would collapse under its own weight. What feels like waiting is often protection." Then he reassured them, saying, "I see your endurance. I see how you remained faithful when answers did not come quickly. Your perseverance has not been forgotten. Every tear has been counted, and every act of trust has echoed in heaven." Jesus lifted his voice and declared, "Open your heart to me. I do not force entry, but I do not abandon you either. I knock with grace, patience, and promise. When you open, you will find not judgment, but restoration, not rejection, but peace." And he concluded, "Hold on a little longer, my child. What you have been praying for is nearer than you think. I am not ignoring you. I am at your door, and when it opens, you will understand why the wait was necessary." And hope returned to those who heard him, for his words carried truth and life. And Jesus spoke to the people with a voice steady and full of truth, and his words settled upon them like light in the midst of shadow. "My people," he said, "hold firmly to your faith. Do not let it slip from your hands because of what you see around you. The storms you face were not sent to destroy you, but to reveal the strength of the trust you have placed in me." He looked upon those whose hearts were weary and continued, "Many of you have prayed and waited, yet the answer seemed delayed. Do not mistake delay for denial. Faith is tested in the waiting, and those who endure will see the goodness of God revealed in its proper time." Jesus lifted his voice and declared, "Do not lose faith when the road grows narrow. I walk before you and behind you. Even when you feel alone, you are surrounded by my presence. What you cannot see, I am already shaping for your good." Then he warned them gently, saying, "Guard your hearts against fear, for fear speaks loudly when faith is quiet. Do not allow the noise of doubt to drown out the truth I have spoken over you. Remember the works you have already witnessed, the times I carried you when your strength failed." His eyes softened as he spoke again. "Blessed are those who believe without seeing immediate results. Their faith moves heaven, and their obedience prepares the way for miracles yet unseen." Jesus stretched out his hands and said, "Remain rooted in me. Faith is not a moment, it is a walk. Each step you take in trust brings you closer to the promise. Even small faith, when placed in my hands, becomes more than enough." And he concluded, "Stand firm, my people. Do not lose faith now. What you are believing for is nearer than it appears. The Father is faithful, and so am I. Hold on, for your faith will be rewarded." And the people listened, strengthened, for his words restored hope and courage within them. "My beloved ones, hear my voice, and do not be troubled by the noise around you. I have called you by name long before you understood the weight of my calling. You are chosen not because you are perfect, but because your heart responds when I speak. In moments when the world overlooked you, I was forming you. In seasons of silence, I was strengthening you. You have walked through trials that others could not endure, and you wondered if I was near. Know this, I was closer than your breath. Every tear you shed was seen. Every prayer, whispered in weakness, was gathered by my hands. I did not allow the fire to consume you. I allowed it to refine you. Chosen ones, do not fear the resistance you face now. Resistance is a sign that heaven is moving. When doors closed suddenly, it was my protection. When relationships fell away, it was my mercy. I removed what could not follow you into the future I prepared. Trust me, even when the path feels narrow, for narrow paths lead to eternal purpose. I am calling you to walk in love, not bitterness, in faith, not confusion. The authority I placed within you is activated by obedience. When you forgive, heaven responds. When you remain faithful in secret, I reward you openly. Do not measure your progress by earthly applause. Measure it by alignment with my will. There will be moments when you feel weary, but my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Lean on me. I did not choose you to abandon you. I chose you to reveal my glory through your life. Stand firm, chosen ones, for what I have spoken over you cannot be undone. Remain in me, and I will guide every step. The time is coming when you will see why you had to endure. What you thought was delay was preparation. Walk forward now, with courage and peace, for I am with you always. Jesus stood where all could see him, yet his voice reached farther than the crowd before him. He lifted his eyes toward heaven, and his words carried a weight that stirred every heart willing to listen. He did not call only the strong, nor only the faithful, but everyone, those near and those far, the hopeful and the broken. Come and hear, he said, for my prayer is not hidden, and my mercy is not reserved for a few. I pray not only for those who understand me, but for those who doubt, those who wander, and those who feel forgotten. The Father hears every name I carry before him. Silence fell, not because the world had stopped, but because something holy had begun. Jesus prayed with compassion, speaking life where there was weariness and light where shadows ruled. He prayed for the sick, that healing would flow not only through bodies, but through hearts. He prayed for the burdened, that rest would find them even before their circumstances changed. My Father, he prayed, let them know you are near. Let them understand that your love is not earned by effort, but received by faith. Teach them that forgiveness opens the door to freedom, and humility draws heaven close. Those listening realized this prayer was not meant to impress, but to invite. Jesus prayed openly so all would know that heaven was not distant. His words revealed a relationship marked by trust, obedience, and love. He showed that prayer was not a ritual of fear, but a conversation of belonging. He prayed for unity, that hearts would turn toward one another instead of against one another. He prayed for those who would come later, whose names were not yet spoken, but already known. Guard them, he said, when the world grows loud and faith feels costly. When his prayer ended, nothing outward seemed different, yet everything had shifted. Hope had entered quietly. Those who heard understood that the invitation still stood, to listen, to believe, and to come closer. For Christ's prayer was not confined to that moment. It continues, calling all who will hear to draw near to the Father. As the final words of Christ's prayer settled into the hearts of those who listened, a quiet understanding began to rise. This call was not limited by time, place, or person. It was an open invitation, echoing beyond the moment, reaching every soul willing to listen. Jesus did not pray to separate heaven from earth, but to reveal how near the Father truly is. Those who heard him understood that prayer was not meant to be distant or fearful. It was an act of trust, a bridge of love between God and his people. In calling everyone to hear his prayer, Christ showed that no one is unseen, no one is unworthy, and no one is beyond the reach of grace. His words carried healing for the broken, peace for the restless, and hope for the weary. This prayer did not end when his voice fell silent. It continues to speak to generations, reminding all who hear that the Father's heart is open. Christ prayed so that faith would rise where doubt once lived, and so that love would overcome division. He revealed that unity begins when hearts turn toward God and toward one another. The call still stands. To listen is to respond. To hear is to draw near. Jesus calls everyone not only to witness his prayer, but to step into the life it reveals, a life anchored in faith, shaped by forgiveness, and guided by love. Those who answer this call discover that heaven is not far away, but near, waiting, and ready to receive all who come.